Good morning. It's Dr. G. It is currently 2:52 a.m. I'm in Brooklyn, New York. So I wanted to make a video about taking a path that's a lot less traveled. I was talking to a friend of mine on the way back home, and I was just saying that a lot of times in life we're living almost as if plans are made for us that we didn't make. We make a lot of plans about going to school. Well, school is planned for us. Then we decide if we're going to go to college. Then we decide if we're going to have a house. And then we decide we're going to get married, if we're going to have kids. And it's just a program. It's a program that we're being seen. I'm sorry, it's a program that we're being shown. And some people don't want those things. Some people don't want to go to college. Some people don't want to get married. Some people don't want to have children, and that's fine. Some people don't want to work a job. Some people want to start their own company. Some people they want to be wealthy. Some people don't want to be wealthy, and um, I think I'm making this video because I've dealt with this a lot in life, in the past and now, and there's something when you get to a certain age, like in your 30s, hopefully you kind of get to a point where you start weighing the options of what you've been told versus what you see and realizing what you want, but only if you're paying attention. My hope is that if you're at that age or in your 20s or even younger, that you pay attention. Um, I think my biggest advantage in life was that I paid attention, right? Um, I'm a doctor, um, the first doctor in my family, but I wasn't the first person that wanted to be a doctor in my family, and that bothered me. Um, when I found so many people in my family that were biology pre-med, and I'm like, oh well, why are you biology pre-med? I was like, well, I want to be a doctor. Okay, well, what happened? Oh, I got married, or I joined the Air Force, or I did something else, which is fine, but I knew that that's what I really wanted to do, and that's kind of scary when it's something you really want to do. You might start doubting if you would actually be the one to do it, and I made a point that I made a promise to myself that once I decide that I'm going to go to med school, that I won't change my mind, that I'm going to go, because I didn't want to look back 20 years from now and have that regret. A lot of people don't think like that. But I saw a pattern of people wanting to do this thing, even people close to me, and realizing that they didn't do it for whatever reason. It was an excuse, or maybe they found out that's not really what they want to do. Fine. But I also do know a lot of people that wanted to go in the field and they got discouraged because of what they saw with other people. Or you may be a person that you want to be the first wealthy person in your family, but you have a bunch of friends that don't want wealth. The point that I'm trying to make is that be willing to separate yourself. Be willing to put the blinders on and just stay focused on what you want. Be okay with being okay with yourself and being okay with what you want, because at the end of the day, at the end of your life, you are going to suffer for everything that you wanted to do but did not do. That life you wanted to live, that traveling, everything, when it all is said and done, to know that you could have had and you could have done, but you didn't only because you cared what other people thought about you, that's time you don't get back. When you decided, oh, I want to be an actor, I want to go to Hollywood, but then you get married, you have kids, then it's like, okay, well, so now it's about my wife or husband, now it's about the kids, I'm more focused on that. That's going to eat away at you. That's going to eat away at you. Be willing to be the only person in your circle that's willing to go after what they want. Be willing to be that person that's able to be the lone wolf, right? You don't get to a certain level until you start to separate yourself. And you don't have to be a recluse. Yes, you can have friends. Yes, you can have colleagues. But when it comes to your dreams and your aspirations, you have to, I keep moving my hands like this to let you know, you have to have blinders on and have a straight path. A straight path of vision, that is. Because the path is going to be crooked. It's hard. Life is hard, but it doesn't have to be. Life is hard because we do the easy things. But when you do the hard things and you control that hardship, then your life is easy. So it's easy to go out and drink and party and stuff. But if I'm not working on my business or I'm not working on my skill, eventually life is going to get hard because bills are going to come. And going out and drinking costs money. But if I do the hard stuff first, where it's staying inside, working on my business, working on my craft, building a website, going out making contacts, it's easier to do the things I want to do because I built up clientele, I have passive income, I'm able to go and, do the nice, fun things a lot easier. But it all came from controlled hardship. And being on your own path is hard. It's not easy. I've been doing it for a long time. But it's free. It's freedom. Because you get to the point where you realize that when you know what the right thing is, by learning how to be alone and learning how to carve out that path for yourself, when you hear people, a group of people telling you everything that you need to do, or no, this is the way, and you know this, no, God put this in my heart to do this. You can look at everybody and tell them, y'all can go to hell. I'm going to do what I want to do. This is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to do it. I mean, when you think about certain celebrities, like people who are not the best role models, like they're not the best role models traditionally. Like if you want to talk about a Cardi B, Cardi B is very respected because no matter where she came from, she was a stripper, she's authentic. And she doesn't care what anybody thinks. So eventually, after so much of people ridiculing you, talking about your teeth, or talking about that you're a stripper, talking about this, whatever, and you work on your craft and you're actually good, and she's a good rapper, and she's entertaining, eventually people will accept you for who you are, at the very least, and at the most, people will accept whatever dream or vision you have and you're working on. Another thing, you don't have to tell everybody your vision. I wouldn't. I wouldn't tell a lot of people my vision, even in my family. Because you can't be a giraffe, seeing everything, seeing your goals and aspirations, seeing everything up here. You can't be a giraffe and you can't talk to turtles that all they see is the ground and expect you guys to have a normal conversation. Eventually, you're gonna butt heads and you're gonna have to do something different. And that's okay. Like the path to what you want, the path to greatness, you have to be in alignment with that purpose. And you'll see a lot of times when you are starting to work on your purpose and get to an area where, get to a point where you're doing what needs to be done in order to take that next step in life, you're going to see a lot of headbutting with the people that are around you, whether it be family, be friends, be a relationship. And the reason for that is that you're operating on a different frequency than that environment. So what's going to happen, either you're going to be pulled out of that environment or everybody's going to be pushed away from you, pushed out from you. It can't exist. When you start operating on a different frequency, and all that means is just thinking different thoughts, knowing what you want. Once you start doing that, you're going to attract certain people. But for you to attract those people, those new people and opportunities, you can't be in that old environment because everybody in this old environment is not going to mesh with the new environment you're trying to bring into existence. That's some metaphysical stuff, but all true. I stand by it. You're not going to be able to be that person. And you're going to be tested by God or the universe that God made, but you're going to be tested by God as far as, do you really want what you want? Because everything comes with a sacrifice. Everything. Not a human sacrifice, but it comes at a sacrifice. What are you going to give up in order to have this? But by giving up this, by giving up doing this, you can have all of this and still go back to this, but in even bigger amounts. Like, you can drink at the bar every weekend, or you can stay home and build your business, and then with the income from that business, you can buy the bar, and you can stand behind the bar, serve people drinks, and then go on the other side of the bar and drink while you're drinking with the people you're serving. You do whatever you want because you own it. And that's the shift in thinking. Like, it takes no more energy to be poor than it does to be rich. The only difference is a shift in mindset. A shift in, instead of doing this, do this. Or if you're doing this and you're working too hard, the next thing you need to do is figure out how to do that thing, but do it for more people. Do it smarter, do it for more people, and without having to be present in front of all those people at the same time. If you can take whatever you do, find out how you can charge for it, and find out how you can get that information out to more people without being there, by probably doing it only one time, that's how you become a true entrepreneur, a wealthy entrepreneur. But no difference in what you're doing, is more so how you're doing it. If you can change what you do, and then if you can change, if you keep what you do the same but change how you do it, the method, and then serve a bunch of people doing that, that's how you get wealthy. But like I said, the majority of people don't do that. Why? Because they weren't taught. But when you separate yourself and you go on your own path, you realize, man, I'm starting to see stuff that ain't making sense. And I'm like, all the other successful people I know, billionaires and things like that, a lot of them have their own path. A lot of them are like, they just kind of go at it on their own way. They have this vision and they just go. Jeff Bezos couldn't have everybody in a circle. Doesn't make sense. That's not smart. Jeff Bezos created Amazon. Who else was thinking about creating Amazon? Elon Musk. Name somebody else like Elon Musk. Original ideas pay billions, but it takes time. It takes separation. It takes a long time to build billion dollar ideas. Billion dollar ideas. Billion dollar ideas take time. They take reflection. They take self awareness, knowing who you are, knowing what your true interests are. Like, do you have any interests outside of the things you grew up around? You have any? Have you done anything to see? Hey, do I like this instead of this? Do I like that instead of that? These are all important questions. The last important question is, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice in order to have everything you want? All the things you want that are up here, that in your mind and your heart that nobody else knows about but you. What are you willing to do in order to get that? This is Dr. G signing out. Have a good night.